Reinhardt looks like he'll skate with Eric Gradwick tonight. Can you just characterize how Griffin has been and what this opportunity tonight can be for him?
I think it's a big opportunity for Griffin, but for a lot of players. Getting, I use the word narrow. Camp's getting much narrower now. Jobs are even more so on the line. Ice time's on the line. And Griffin has had a pretty good camp to this point. Has had to fight through a bit of an injury, so he missed some games. So it's nice for him to get back and get rolling. So we're going to watch him closely, like we will all the players. Give him an opportunity to experience different situations, and then evaluate him from there. So we believe in him.
How much of it with a young defenseman like that is about, and new to you, him building a certain amount of trust? You can put him out there and trust that the decisions will be
Well,
good.
everything's based on trust. Every player. I'll have, I'm putting certain people out in certain situations because I trust them to get the job done there. And you'll be able to look at minutes during the year and you'll say, boy, the coach tends to trust that guy a little bit more in these situations. It's just how it is. But in turn, the players have to trust us as well. They have to know that we're trying to help them. They have to know that we're trying to put them in places to succeed. We know they're going to make mistakes. So the trust is a two-way thing. And we're trying to build that right now amongst the players. But when it's all said and done, situations arise every night, and we put the players in those situations that we tend to trust more than others.
Have you decided whether you want to keep 8 defensemen to start the season, or?
No, haven't decided that yet. Yeah. I guess anything's possible. Really haven't, we've got 3 goaltenders, we've got 8 defensemen and 14 or 15 forwards right now. I think that's where we're at, 9 defensemen probably. So we've got to get down in numbers.
The fans outside look at a guy like Yakupov and they go, okay, first overall guy, skilled winger, should be able to play with a skilled centerman. You've just lost your first line right winger. It just seems a natural fit. He should just jump up into one of those spots and live happily ever after. Why isn't it that simple?
Because I think we're trying to create some chemistry with Anton. Anton's, believe it or not, he's our leading scorer throughout exhibition season. I'd want to play with that type of guy if I had Yak's skill set. So trying to create a little chemistry there, trying to have balance amongst lines, looking forward to who we might roll lines out against. In my opinion, Yak's strength is with the puck and on the offensive side. He's working on his defensive game. And sometimes who you match up against also is important. And we'll try and put him in situations to succeed. So it's not just a given that your rap sheet or your stat sheet automatically moves you up a line, and because you're first overall, you're this or you're that. And Yak has shot the puck a lot in exhibition season. We've expected him to do that. And Anton and Schlepp have gone and retrieved that puck for him again. So there's some chemistry there that we hope can continue to grow.
How long do you remain a first overall pick, and when do you just turn into a player that has to earn a spot?
Well, probably about 3 minutes after you're picked, unless you're probably Sid or some of those other guys. But, in Yak's situation, he's a player. He's a National Hockey League player. He happened to go first overall. He'll always have that tag. But he's working hard to evolve in his career and build his game. And for us, that's more important. I don't sit there and look at the board and say, first overall pick. There's a number of them on this team. We don't even look at it that way. We just look at them as a group of players.
You look at him as he's more comfortable playing with players of less stature on your team in terms of Nuge or something, so he fits in better where there's not the expectation level.
No, because when you put him on the power play, he usually rolls out with 4 of the best in a situation where you should have some offensive success. And if you're not, the frustration level can go up even higher there. So I don't look at it that way.
So with making those decisions and maybe giving some other guys looks with McDavid and Hall or with Nugent Hopkins, is there a conversation that happens with Nail about this is where I see you being, this is why? Do you have to communicate that to him, or is it just it is what it is?
Well, we're talking about this for the last 24 hours because Ebbs went down. If Ebbs was still playing, we wouldn't be discussing it. So it's pretty simple. We're going to try Leon there tonight on the right side. Purcell's coming back from injury. He deserves an opportunity, and we like the chemistry of Yak and Anton, and even Schlepyshev to this point. So there really isn't a need for a conversation, in my opinion.
You mentioned his play, defensive play, and away from the puck. You're seeing him up close. What do you think about that so far? His defensive game?
He's putting every effort and every ounce of his game into it. He wants to get better in those areas. And when I said that, don't get me wrong, he's not a disaster or anything like that, but he's improving. Just like Taylor and Leon and everybody else has to improve in those areas as well. So.
When it comes to your goaltending, was this next 2 games, like this for Cam Thomas kind of get ready for the regular season, or how are you approaching it?
It's the next 2 games are for everybody, you know, and Cam in particular. You know, he hasn't played for a little bit now, and it's his opportunity now to play and get his game going, but everybody has to be in that situation.
What's your goaltending schedule for the next 2 games? Can you tell us?
I know we're starting Cam tonight.
60 minutes.
Likely, yeah. Hopefully.
How tough is that decision, who's going to back up Cam Thomas right now? Like that?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Very tough.
Because it would be easier said than if one of the goalies had, you know, fallen off in the other one. But
Yeah, and they've both played, all 3 of them have played well, and for that matter, we talked about the 2 kids that are in Bakersfield right now. They had good camps too, so I haven't been to many NHL camps where all the goaltenders have really actually performed at a fairly high level. Usually there's some guys that fall right off the map, but each of the goalies has come in and done a good job, and I think that's a credit to Dustin Schwartz and how he's worked with them and prepared them.
How do you look a guy in the eye who stops 53 out of 53 shots and say, you need to show us more?
I don't know if you do that.
Davidson hurt?
Is Davidson hurt? He's banged up a little bit, but that's not the reason why he's playing tonight, or not playing tonight, pardon me.
Oscar?
Oscar's banged up a little bit day to day.
Good, thanks, Tom.
Good. Okay.